Welcome to David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? So we're doing something a little bit different. And of course, y'all seen the role that this wonderful young lady sent to us. So it could show a little bit more of what she does in her stage and everything else. So I thought it was pretty cool. I loved it. And we're going to talk to her about it. And she's coming to us all the way from New York City. Everybody, please welcome Miss Jessica Lynn. What up, girl?
Hey. Hi, everybody.
Oh, Lord. What instrument do you not play? I think that would be a better question. Because I seen you on the electric, I seen you on the acoustic, I seen you on drums. I'm like, my God, girl, you ain't even got to go to a gym. Your workout is just get on stage.
Woodwinds. I would love to learn saxophone, but I don't play any woodwinds except the recorder from elementary school. That I could still play. My heart will go on.
Oh, yeah. I think, honestly, I think I still got mine around this house somewhere.
Oh, man.
I loved it. The best thing I loved about it was it drove my parents wild.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Shut up.
Oh, good memories.
Oh, I know it, right? I mean, it just terrorizing the parents. That was a fun day.
I might have to break that out on a show or two.
There you go. Just rock it on out there. But yeah, I was like, because on the reel and everything, I'm like, dude, she's on the drum. And you're packing them. A lot of those crowds, they were damn good sized crowds.
Thanks so much. I've worked very hard. I'm 34 now, and I started when I was 13. So it's been many years of pounding the pavement and getting out there, and it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, that's around Nashville, it's the 7-year plan or the 10-year plan. People don't understand that you start way earlier.
Yeah, it's this industry is unlike anything else.
Oh, yeah.
It really
well,
is.
What I love is, now, did you start in, about what age did you start loving, the music, the appreciation of it and everything?
I mean, as long as I can remember. I get asked a lot, like, when did you know that you wanted to start a music career? And I always say, like, I just always knew. There was never a moment. There was never age. Just from as early as I could talk, I was singing and playing pots, pan. I mean, anything I could get my hands on.
Oh, yeah.
I just always knew that music was what I wanted to do.
Yeah. See, now I've talked to several people, and they either started out in like church or, doing something. And their parents actually picked up on, well, hey, this kid's got a little talent, let's nurture it a little bit. And they just grew from there. And I love it.
Well, both of my parents are musical. We're actually a family band. My dad's the bass player. My mom sings backgrounds and plays keyboards. My husband's the lead guitarist. My rescue dog travels with us. We call her the tour manager. She keeps everybody in line. Now, my little sister, who's an amazing singer-songwriter, she also has music out on Spotify and all that stuff. She's going to start traveling with us. So it's a big, and even just the rest of the band, they've been with me years and years. Our drummer's been with me for 12 years now.
Awesome. And that's a rarity.
It is. The rest of the band was too. We just had our pedal steel player retire too. He was almost 80 years old. So it was just the road was getting too hard, but he was also with me 12 years.
Yeah. That's sadly, that's one of the instruments I love hearing.
Yeah.
And it's became over the years, it's like nobody's using it anymore. And I'm just like, dude, just put a steel in there.
Sadly, it's a dying art. I think just less and less people know how to actually play the instrument.
Yeah, because it's not an easy instrument to play.
No, it's not. It's not an easy instrument to travel with either.
No, it is big and bulky. That is crazy. But yeah, I was just I was checking out that reel and everything, and I was just like, man, it just, you look like you're having so much fun on stage.
I do. I love it so much. That's my happy place. Any worry and any anxiety I have, any stress literally melts away the second the show starts. It's
Well,
the
I can
place.
imagine.
Yeah, it's the place I feel the most at home, really, and the most comfortable.
Hmm. I get nervous.
I do too, but that means you care.
Oh, okay. I get nervous when I'm like a MC or something like that, or a host. I've done some of that, and I get nervous before I go out there on stage because I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to get out there and I'm going to piss somebody off. I'm just.
I thought that was going a different direction. I thought you were going to say pee your pants.
No. I'm scared I'll actually make somebody mad because I've got no filter. I just say what comes to my mind. And that's just the way it's always been with me.
That's funny. My biggest fear is forgetting the words.
I thought you were going to say piss yourself.
Well, I guess that too. It could happen. Anything can happen when you're out there. But
we can't I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh man, we have lots of stories like that from the road. Any person touring in a band can tell you that it's just a part of.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is, especially when you're on the bus.
Around here, it's a bet on how long before I have to take a break. I surprised my producer Caitlin the other day. You made it over an hour. Wow.
That's so funny. But yeah, I just always sometimes you get distracted. I've looked into the audience and saw people singing or doing something and I'm thinking about them and all of a sudden I'm like, where am I? What verse am I at? It's like the scariest feeling ever.
Oh yeah. Oh. Get up there and say, so glad to be in Chattanooga, and you're actually in New Mexico.
I only did that once, but it was a language thing on the 2019 tour. I think it was 2019. Yes, we did France, Italy, Germany, 3 days in a row.
Wow.
And I started speaking French in Germany because I just was on stage. I always learn a few phrases thanks for coming, so happy you're here, this song is called, type of stuff, just to show appreciation for their culture and their country. And I just got very confused. I was very tired. I didn't know where we were.
Everybody looking at each other going, what'd she say?
Yeah. My German is bad enough to begin with, so this is really bad.
Well, see, that's what's funny because there's a band out there called Rammstein, and I'll do their music, but he won't sing in English. He sings all in German. And I've tried to learn it just so I can know what the heck he's singing. And it's got to be one of the hardest languages to learn.
It is, yet to me, and we've traveled and toured in a lot of countries with a lot of different languages, but for me, it's the easiest to pick up on. A lot of their words kind of sound like English words, like Wasser is water. I know it's not the same, but you kind of get beer is beer, hello is hello. There's a lot of words that you can kind of tell the meaning just because they sound a little bit similar. Plus, It's very hard. So you can when they're speaking French, it's so all together. Whereas German is you can hear the words a little more clear.
It just sounds like everybody's mad all the time.
It does.
French, it just sounds like they're trying to pick up women all the time.
Yes. Oh, there's a reason German isn't called the love language. So.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. That is crazy. So you've been in New York City all your life?
I have. I was born in Brooklyn. My dad is a retired New York City street cop. My whole family is still in Brooklyn and the Bronx. So
but
yeah, I'm a New Yorker through and through.
I don't hear that New York accent.
Probably because I grew up about an hour north of the city.
Okay.
So plus I've traveled for a long time. So I feel like when you go a lot of different places, your voice kind of takes on a different shape.
Yeah, because I was reading about the PBS specials you did and the whole tour thing with that. And That was impressive just a lot. Just by that, I've been like, okay, I'm done.
Oh, thanks. That's how my whole career started, a very non-traditional way. I was doing rock and roll my whole life, but I
Mm-hmm.
always loved my high school band was like No Doubt. It was kind of
Yeah.
that style of music. I'm a big Gwen Stefani fan. And as I always loved country music though. I was always listening to it at home. And when I was about 19, I started writing it.
Yeah.
And I really fell in love with the stories of country music, and just really country music can tell a story unlike anything else.
Pretty
So
much. Yeah.
I went to my dad who produces my music and I was like, hey, can you like help me record a demo? I want to start shopping this country stuff. And he was like, why do you want to? Everyone does a demo. Let's try something different. Let's try filming something.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is ever going to air that I'm an unknown artist? Like, I mean, this sounds like ridiculous. And he convinced me. And of course, you know, daddy daughter bickering. He loves to say that he was right about that.
Probably still to this day.
I know. Yes. And so he was like, worst comes to worst, you have a great live video to shop yourself with if nothing happens in the live recordings. So we filmed the show on the smallest budget. I mean, everything was like do it yourself.
Yeah.
And it wound up going nationwide on PBS to my surprise. And that jump started my whole career.
Yeah, but that's just one PBS special. You've done how many now?
I've done 3, including an acoustic one during COVID.
See? I mean, you got to give Dad props, man. I mean, that was genius, really.
It's been a cool journey, but it definitely took my career to places I never thought. Like my debut record came out in 2022. That's 8 years after I started touring.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because I was always doing the TV thing or just touring. You know, as an independent artist, I never had funding to put behind lots of records or releases or PR or any of that.
Right.
So to me, the best PR was to get out on the road and shake hands and make fans that way. So that's always where my focus was until recently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with today's technology, you can do just about anything.
Exactly. I learned that a lot during the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. The pandemic, it closed everybody off. You know, in one way, I've seen it as a good thing because more people figured things out on how to do certain things that they could do with technology.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really shown a big opening on how artists can get out there more. I've seen several things where artists were actually going live online and playing songs for people and stuff, you know, and that really helped on the fan base stuff because it was more one-on-one. It was a more intimate setting, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I think there were 2 very distinct types of people during COVID in terms of artists. There were ones that were like, I'm going to use this in every single way I can and not let this beat me. And then there were some that just lay down and give up. You know, and I couldn't believe how many people that I followed or were like, oh, I'm going to be taking a break from social media for a while. I'm like, now is the worst time ever to take a break from social media. Despite having no income, we bought lights, we bought cameras, like we really invested. I was like, I'm going to make the most of this being home. And I started live streaming close to 6 days a week sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud to say that I wound up being named 2020 a top 40 live streamer of the whole year by Polestar. And
awesome.
And 2021, I was top 25. And it was so cool to be up there with like Zach Brown Band and Stevie Nicks. And my fan base really skyrocketed during the pandemic.
Now, was that your idea or Dad's?
That was mine. You know, but like anything, you get back what you give. That's with relationships. That's with your art, your business, your friendships. I mean, anything. It was really the case there.
Yeah, that's why I still have the day job just to pay for it because I love Amazon.
Me too.
And they got some cool stuff you can buy for, you know, podcasting and music industry stuff. live streaming stuff, and it's, no, that wasn't a shout out to them, but anyway.
They'll have to sponsor this episode.
Yeah, maybe they'll send you a check. I don't know. They don't like me enough, so
I'll split it with you if they
yeah,
do.
there you go. Send me a bottle of bourbon, we're good.
Okay.
But yeah, I created all this, and after the COVID thing, I think people are still hungry, because they can take podcasts or live streams like you do. When the live stream ends, it's still there. It's recorded. It's on there, and they can go back where, like, normal conventional TV, you got to watch the episode. You can't pause it and start it back later and rewind and all that. Well, you might with some service, but I don't know. I just think people are enjoying the whole internet-based stuff a whole lot more now.
I agree. One thing that I did notice, though, was that not that the demand was less, but that the availability was less. Like during the pandemic, I had like 100,000 people signing on to my live streams. No exaggeration. And now it's maybe like 15,000, because like people were all home. Now people are at work. People have plans. People have weddings, parties. It's just a different world. But you're right. I do notice that over time, one of my live streams, actually 2 of them, it just went viral back from 2020. I kept getting all these notifications. One hit 1.5 million views and one hit 1 million views. And that's people consuming it now. 4 years later.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at all your stuff that you had done and everything, and I was just like, her numbers are going to go up. Maybe not today, but in a week or two, I'm thinking her numbers are going to go up because, like the podcast stuff, you get on and my people will see your stuff and they want to see your stuff. And, everything just kind of helps each other out and expands so much through just a simple connection. So hopefully next week you'll have 2 million. I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
I know, right? Oh God. So I was looking at all the people that you've opened up for, and I'm going to tell you, I was most jealous of one.
Yeah.
Dokken.
Oh.
I did
not expect that.
I am a Dokken fan from way back. I'm an 80s metal guy.
That was at Ramblin' Man Fair in England in 2017.
Oh man, I'd have loved to have been there.
That was a great festival. There was a hard rock stage and a country stage. And I
think they need to do more of that.
I agree. Rock and roll and country are so intertwined. My music is even heavily laced with the 2 of them. It really weaves in and out.
Yeah.
And I thought it was such a great festival. Unfortunately, since COVID, it folded. But it was awesome.
That's what I loved about, here lately. It's like overseas, after COVID, overseas is like booming, wanting artists, our American artists to come over there and do more festivals and all that stuff. And I was just like, wow, I can't believe it.
Unfortunately, speaking from a business standpoint, I've been touring overseas since 2016, so a long time. And since the pandemic, the cost to travel has gotten so high that the amount of artists that are canceling their European tours, I forgot who it was. It was I think it was The Who. Someone huge last year said, we can't do it. The cost is too high. A lot of bands that are even signed to agencies I'm signed to, they're saying it's not doable.
No, because over there, buses and trucks to transport the equipment and everything else is it's through the freaking roof.
Yeah. Yeah, I can give you an idea of, we just did my first European tour this past year. We're going again this summer, but since COVID. So I did 2019, then my
Right.
2020 tour got pushed to 2023 because there were so many different restrictions in different countries and you couldn't cross borders here. And it was just like way too complicated. Plus, we were entering many countries just on a nose swab at the border, which you know how inaccurate those can be. So
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not quarantining in a government quarantine facility because my nose swab maybe test positive by accident. So we waited till last year, but we took the same flight that we were supposed to take. In 2020, that flight cost me per band member $470 each.
Right.
This past year, I paid $1,750 a band member.
Ow.
Our van in 2020 was $4,000. This past year, it was $8,500.
That's one hell of a markup.
And hotels doubled too.
I can't believe they're doing that. Well, it's like around Nashville. Everything's through the roof here.
Crazy.
I don't understand it.
It's sad. We had to turn down actually several European tour dates. We still have a nice little tour for August, but we had to turn down several tour dates for other times of year because the cost was higher than what we would have made.
Well, I mean, a lot of smaller bands are having to cancel just touring around the States because of the gas prices and hotel rooms and everything. I mean, used to you get a hotel room, you know, $45-50 a night. Now they're like 109, 150.
At least. I mean, that's on the low end.
Yeah.
Our last European tour, US tour, we never stay. I mean, we're all like older now. The days of staying at like Super 8s are done. But
yeah.
you know, sometimes I will book us, like on the last tour, it was only 2 nights that were at like a Super 8 because one, it was the only thing close enough to where our route was.
Yeah.
And 2, we were arriving at like 2:00 in the morning and leaving at 7 a.m. I'm like, for me to spend $1,000 for us to literally lay in a bed and leave is ridiculous. So, but again, usually we stay at like Hilton's. But anyways, do you know that the Super 8s that I booked for that one night were $120 a room?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's so
Crazy.
phenomenal.
It is. It's really sad because it really has taken a toll on artists. And I even just here in the States, like you were saying, I've turned down so many dates. I turned down a few state fairs this year.
Yeah.
The cost is just too high.
Yeah, and the people that put on the fairs and all that and hire the bands and everything, they're just like, y'all are not understanding, you know, that this is what it cost me to tour, and you're telling me this is all you can pay, and you want me to concede?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about pandemic. That's the real pandemic.
Yeah.
Epidemic is the way that artists are treated by some venues and promoters. It's insulting. The amount of, I mean, I'm sorry, but in any other industry, who works for exposure?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the plumber doesn't come to my house and they say, I'll tell my friends that you did a great job in my bathroom. No, they expect to get paid for just like any other profession. Musicians, years of practice, years of lessons, thousands of dollars in gear, travel costs, and you're going to insult people with such a low, I mean, it's not right.
No, it's not.
I mean, I had a Billboard charting record last year, and we've had 3 nationwide television specials. I'm not exaggerating. I had a state fair offer me $400 for the band this year.
And that is just ludicrous. I mean,
yeah. I mean, maybe for an acoustic local one guy, you know, to come in and that doesn't have to travel, that's a fair wage for the day.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, where do these people, it's really, really sad. And I always do. I do a lot of mentorship and teaching within the music industry to young artists and stuff. And it's know your worth. You know, don't let people walk all over you. Your expertise, your years of hard work, they're valuable. They're worth something.
Well, it's something I talk on the show with a bunch of people about is, you got to watch out for so much stuff when you're an artist starting out. You got to watch for the people that are just trying to get your money. And then when you actually start touring, you got to watch out for all these other idiots that are trying to get just nickel and dime you to death.
You're in a pit of snakes and you're trying to find your way to the other end.
Pretty much.
Basically, you're Indiana Jones going through
there you go. And I hate snakes. I can't stand snakes.
I mean, really, that's the perfect analogy. Every chase you turn, there's another one. You're like, oh, gotta go this way. Oh, okay, gotta go this way. It's really, really sad.
The torch is burning out quick.
It's so true. Now it's the easiest time ever to get into the industry because of the power of the internet, like we said, but it's also the hardest time ever because there's so many frauds out there and people out there to just get a quick buck. And someone can open up a little office in Nashville and then start soliciting people saying they're going to get the meetings or whatever. Pay me $400 a month and I'm going to do this or that for you. I mean, these scams are everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And I've actually started noticing it in podcasting because there's people out there charging people to be on their show and they ain't got but like 500 followers, maybe, you know, and the whole reason I started this show was to help young independent artists because I did lights and sound all around Nashville for years.
Cool.
And I don't like how industry people do people. Because when the music and all that first started with the labels and everything else, artists used to help each other. And they would get together and they would talk and they would know through word of mouth in 2 weeks, every shark, every, low down little person in the whole industry, and they don't do that anymore. Nobody helps each other out.
Yep. I have seen that many times. The amount of artists I've given a contact to or put in a good word for or whatever. You think they ever return the favor?
No.
But, I think it's important to always keep being you. I do believe in karma and the good energy that you put out into the world will come back to you. And don't ever, dim your light or become a skeptic or hardened or jaded because it will come back around to you. It may take longer.
It definitely will.
But it will.
And there's times I actually want to try and help karma a little bit, It's like over here.
Yeah, it's true. Everyone is looking to take advantage. I mean, even over the last few years, people always say, why aren't you signed? It's because the deals that I've been offered, even though they're from very reputable companies, were totally taking advantage of me.
Yeah.
And I have more control as an independent artist. I control my own money. I control my own tour schedule. I control my own releases, the music that I want to make. I had a very big company offer me a management deal, which I lost a lot of sleep over because I really wanted to accept it.
Yeah.
However, they wanted 20% of everything past and present.
Oh, yeah.
So
if you charge for an autograph, they want their cut.
My television specials, those were filmed 10 years ago and are still bringing in revenue. Why am I going to give you 20% of something that I filmed 10 years ago? You had no investment in that. And we said anything from this day forward, we're happy to share in. Wasn't good enough. I was like, you know what? That's not going to work for me. But people get desperate too, Well,
I tell people really with the way the internet is and everything else, you don't really need that label.
Yep, it's true.
If you've got good friends, you make good friends along the way that do certain things that the label would provide, you can pretty much get it done and not have to give up 20% of because you was 5 years old and you sang Yankee Doodle Dandy or something. I mean,
it's true. I mean, labels provide the marketing machine, which is obviously super helpful, and funding, which is the hardest struggle of an independent artist, in my opinion. Yeah. But other than that, you could do it yourself.
Yeah. I tell them all. I'm living proof of that.
I hope anybody watching this that's trying to break into the industry. I mean, sometimes I would look at people on some major labels or independent labels. I'm like, I have more touring than they do, more charting history than they do, and they're probably being what's the word? Stifled by someone they've signed with, or had to adhere to these rules or this or that. Just go
That's
for
what
it
I don't
yourself.
like. I don't like the rules. Look, everything I've been doing up to this moment has got me to where I am. And then you're going to come in here and tell me that I can't do this and I can't do that?
Yeah.
No.
And there's there's a difference between learning and growing and taking constructive criticism.
Right.
But it's also hard to tell what advice to take when it's someone that solely wants to make money off you.
Yeah.
If it's really your best interest.
And some of them are really, really, really convincing.
I have been taken advantage of more times than I would like to admit.
Yeah. There was times back when I was doing the lights and sound and everything. The big old switcheroo. The manager would cut out 20 minutes before everything was done. And he would tell somebody, just tell them I had to go or something, and then where's our money? Gone. You ain't ever going to see it.
So wrong.
That's why it's half up front now.
Yep, that's too.
At least I'll get something.
I think everyone in this industry can relate to that at one point or another.
Yeah.
Somehow along the way, our society has lost the value in art, and it's just as valuable as any other job out there. Just because it's fun, it's not always fun. I tell you, this job, the only fun part is the hour you're on stage.
Yeah, they don't stop and think about the 4-hour setup, the hour you're waiting for the sound guy to do sound check. You had to wait an additional hour for the LD to adjust his lighting.
You didn't get to eat. You were up early. You didn't sleep. You had to drive hours in traffic. Yeah.
And which I had Nikki Stringfield on the show, and me and her talked about, because the Iron Maidens, they tour Europe a lot, and I'm a big architecture guy. I love old buildings. And she was saying, they were lucky on this last tour that they actually got to get out for a couple of hours and actually see some sights. Normally, they don't get to tour, outside or like go on some kind of little tourist tour for an hour or two. You don't get to do all that stuff. I mean, it's like, okay, I'm in the city. Did you see anything? Yeah, the stage.
Yeah, I've toured London 4 times and I still never got to do anything in London.
Yeah. If you see Big Ben, it's probably from the bus as you're going out.
Yeah, it was. I passed Mount Rushmore 3 times before I could go in. The good thing, though, about Europe in the summer, when a lot of the big festivals are, which is when we go, is that clubs are closed in the summer. Not a lot of clubs operate. So we are lucky enough to have usually like Monday through Wednesdays off, because the festivals happen all the weekends. So I have been very lucky, like when we were near Paris and things, to actually get to like have a day. So, but it's usually not the case.
That's pretty wild. So yeah, I ain't got to worry about going on tour, but anyway. I still want to go to those places though, and I want to see the architecture and the beauty of all of it.
You should. It's really incredible.
I tell you what, when you go, just get a bigger suitcase that I can hide in.
With all of my hair products, there's no room in there.
All that stuff.
I used all of my suitcase and half of my husband's suitcase. He only is allowed half.
You got some long, long hair. I was like, good God, that'd be breaking my neck. Mine was down to my waist at one time.
Really?
Yeah. And I came in one day and I was just like, buzz it. I'm done. I can't do it no more. I was going through a bottle of conditioner every 2 days.
I know the feeling. I have to take multiple cans of hairspray on tour, and it's like really bad. And that's because my hair is so heavy too and thick. There's
Yeah.
only one type that works. So like I can't even buy it when we're there. So literally the whole inside of my suitcase is rows of hairspray.
Man. But well, I mean, do they even still make Aquanet?
Yes, they do.
That was my thing.
Oh my God, that's so crunchy.
Yeah, it's crunchy, but you could tease the crap out of your hair and get the big hair.
You can.
I was an 80s kid, what can I say?
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was fun. So now one thing we was talking about was the internet and everything else. And there's one thing that popped up on you for all the gamers out there. I thought this was cool as all get out. You actually got a video game credit with Crash Bandicoot.
I did. So I've been lucky enough to be a part of 2 video games actually. That
Was it?
I lent my voice to one of the characters for like a little remake of Crash Bandicoot, which Crash Bash was my favorite game when I was a kid. I loved video games, and then there's a game called American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. And my song After Party is featured in American Truck Simulator, and you actually can even find the secret concert location in the game.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was so cool. I met them when I was playing the Grand Prix of Germany, and they had a big booth there, and we hit it off, and it was such an honor to have my song used in that way.
So that is so cool that just a chance hookup like that, you know?
That's how everything happens. I feel like you could try so hard, but everything is at the right time in the right place.
Yeah, it really is. But I thought that was cool because I played Crash Bandicoot.
It's the best game ever.
Yeah, my third ex-wife, I think she made it a career. Don't be laughing. I make mistakes, okay? We ain't doing that again. It ain't going to happen. So are you going to the States this year? Or?
Yeah, I just announced all my tour dates actually a few days ago. So
cool.
I'm really excited. The tour starts May 31st, and my first set of dates is actually as Dee Messina's opening act.
Cool.
And,
congrats.
thanks.
I love Jodie.
Me too. For her homecoming tour, New England tour. So it's a real honor to be a part of that. And then we head out. We're doing California, New Mexico, New Hampshire, all over the place. Then we fly overseas. I'm unfortunately not allowed to give details, but I have signed on to do some military entertainment. So we are flying to a very, very foreign location.
That gets a lot of respect from me because I love anybody that reaches out and extends the entertainment to the military. I love the military.
I've done a lot with the military and the troops over the last 10 years. My second television special, we gave a portion of ticket sales to an organization that sends care packages overseas. Awesome. And actually, my last 3 Euro tours, we donated our time on the 4th of July, and we played Wiesbaden Army Base in Germany.
Yeah.
So this is going to be cool. I wish I could talk about it because it's a place I never thought I'd go in my entire life. But then we do that, and we come home for some more USA dates, and then we go to Europe. So it's going to be a really busy year.
Yep. Now you got probably 6,000 people out there right now trying to figure it out. Where's she going? Where's she going?
They will never figure it out. Ever.
I think it's funny because you say something and next thing you know, somebody's trying to find out where or what or what's going on.
That's why I have to
talk about it right
totally
now.
Top secret.
Curiosity killed the cat.
True.
That's all I can say. That's funny though. But I'm really proud of you for doing that. That is awesome. I love it. So, are you going to come to Tennessee though?
I hope so. I really hope so. We had a nice little tour heading down that way in 2020 actually, and then when it all got canceled, we just never got to reschedule that leg. So hopefully soon.
Well, I'm going to keep an eye out because when you come to town, I'm going to come see you.
Please, I would love that.
I'm going to be the one that's 3 rows back over to the left. And I'll hold something up that says heckler spot or something, you know.
Okay. And I'll know it's you.
Tell everybody I'm going to come to their show and heckle them while they're doing it.
I'll tell security to keep an extra eye out for you.
Here's the white coat. He's going to need this.
Yeah.
It's one of them crazy guys. As funny as I'll get out. All right. Well, Jessica, I appreciate you being on, hon. And
thank you.
I know that you've got something really super important to do. So we're going to go ahead and let you go. And look, you're welcome back on the show anytime. And if you get to Tennessee, holler at me. We might even do one in the studio.
Thank you. That would be so much fun. I appreciate you having me. It was so nice getting to know you.
I appreciate you. And we'll have more fun and we'll talk later.
All right.
Hang on. We're going to put you back in the blue room or green. What color is the room? Is it blue or green?
I think it's blue.
Who knows? All right, Jessica. Thank you. All right, y'all. Remember, please like, share, follow, subscribe. It's a little red button. You go to the right a little bit and you click it. And everybody, please be sure and check out Jessica Lynn. And I need her website. I think it's jessicalynn.com. Is that what it is? It's going to be below. For people on YouTube, it'll be in the comments up underneath show description. And the same on the Buzzsprout too. Y'all go down there. The links will be there. Check them out. And it will be something that you'll be happy you checked out, because as far as on stage energy and everything else, this girl knocks it out of the park, and she has some really good songs too. So y'all check her out, and we will holler at y'all soon. We done? Cool. See ya. Love ya. Bye.